Well, is anybody shocked? He pleaded not guilty. Listen, everyone is watching this, okay? And his attorney, Karen, had a lot to say in reference to how the mayor grandstanded this entire performance, bringing him in down on a helicopter, marching him out in the open with the sea in the background. You can hear the ocean splashing. It looked like a scene from an amazing movie starring your boy Luigi Mangione. Now, so listen, a lot of people have a lot to say. Of course, you have those like he did it. There's a mountain of evidence. We went through that already. Let's listen to what his attorney had to say, and even calling out the mayor and his shenanigans, you guys. You know how I feel about that clown show, but let's hear what the attorney had to say. She makes some solid, good points, and I'm also going to speak to some major issues and how this is a win so far for Luigi.
To that courtroom, you can see him in handcuffs, flanked by law enforcement as well as his attorneys. There were plenty of people in the courtroom as well, some supporters of him. And again, let's take a look at that moment that he entered his plea before the court.
Not guilty.
Your Honor, we have a copy of the indictment, notice of immigration consequences, as well as rap sheet. I believe the court has, if we give the court an extra copy and one to counsel. Does the court wish that we be heard with respect to bail?
Well, what is the situation with the federal authorities? They have a screen.
As we understand that we have primary jurisdiction, and we have been informed by the U.S. Attorney that they intend on allowing us to try our case first. So with respect to whatever goes on there, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the trial and the sentencing will take place here prior to anything that takes place in the federal system.
Okay, I'm glad he said that. Listen, you guys, I mentioned this before in reference to how the feds hijacked this case. There's no reason why the feds should be taking this case. They are trying their best, I think, to backdoor the state. Okay, so listen, people are saying, okay, well, there's Fed charges, you could charge them. Yeah, you can. But you guys, if this was any other normal circumstance, the feds would not have taken this case. All right, look how many murder cases. You got the guy who just set the lady on fire. One could argue the feds should take that, right? Because he's an illegal immigrant. He wherever he came probably from Mexico, and made his way to New York somehow. He committed a crime. He broke several laws by sneaking in the country. So who knows, right? Who knows? I don't even know the full details of that story, but I'm just saying they don't take just murder cases just because, right? And these charges that they charge Luigi with, as far as stalking, using the interstate and using the internet to commit the crime, you guys, those are really kind of, that's just a way for them to really, really, I guess you would say, solidify themselves, basically giving justification why they should get involved, because this happened interstate, right? This is an interstate crime. All right, so anyways, but he's saying that the state has priority over this, which is going to be interesting. All right, so, and again, the feds are trying to charge him with homicide. The state's charging with homicides. That's double jeopardy. I don't see how that's going to play out. All right, so I'm glad he pointed that out.
So what you just said, the answer is it's fine if we take custody today.
That I'm not sure, because Your Honor signed a writ in which it says that we're going to return the defendant to federal custody. So I think that would be step two. I do think that logically, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the custody should be here, but I asked the court, in light of the court signing the writ indicating that we would return him to federal custody, that be done at a later time.
Well, I've been through this before, and if you do that, they will really right out of you. So don't think I'm going to do it. But if you work it out with them, that we will take custody rather than us bringing them back for any proceedings, that'll be great.
We will make every effort to accomplish that, Your Honor.
Okay, before she speaks, why do we need to send him to federal custody? You guys, this is the part that's raising my antennas. My spidey senses are tingling. Why, right? Again, this is not, at least I haven't seen it play out this way, right? State charges, primary prosecutor, but we're gonna let you stay in federal. Nah, nah, nah. I got a case going on right now, and they won't send that brother to the federal pen to wait for charges. Okay, so I don't know, you guys. This is interesting. This is interesting.
But there should be some kind of detention, you know that.
Yes.
If there's a hearing order changes, there should be some mechanism to,
Absolutely.
and then we can do that. All right, is there any further?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to make a record, if that's okay with Your Honor. First, we'd request immediate expedited discovery in this case. The people have had this case for about almost 3 weeks, and that's more than enough time to gather as much information as they can give to us, especially now that we have two proceedings that we have to answer to, one of them being death eligible. So we are requesting that we get immediate discovery of the New York City Police Department and FBI and federal and state documents. And the second thing I want to make a record.
Okay, that's a big deal, you guys. Listen, what is she saying? She's saying, listen, you got my client over here. You done dragged him out of Pennsylvania. You marched him in the streets like he is the killer. And yet you guys haven't even given me the discovery. What's the discovery, guys? The discovery is the evidence. I need to see what you guys see. I have to see what you guys are using to accuse, right? To put together these allegations. I haven't seen it from the feds. I haven't seen it from the states. The states is grandstanding all on the news like, yeah, we got him. This the man. We got fingers. We got saliva. We got book packs, jackets, candy, soda, cupcakes. I mean, they look like they got all the evidence, right? According to them, they have a mountain. They have a mountain and haven't shared a molehill. Okay, that's what this is about. We have a mountain, but we haven't shared the molehill with you. And the attorney is speaking out, you guys, and she's absolutely correct. Where's the discovery? I need to see it. I need to taste it. I need to feel it. I need to start what? Making my counter. I need to start putting my defense together. I can't even put experts together because what? I have nothing to look at. So she is about to cook. Let her cook. And look at them twinning. They got the same outfits, looking like Christmas. All right, looking like Christmas over there on the Luigi team. All right, they look like two Santa's helpers just ready to get to work. All right, so they're in the Christmas spirit. I like the it gives them a sense of unification. Like we are unified front over here. Team Luigi wearing red. Okay, where they should have wore green. All right, they should have wore green.
Of Your Honor is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he's entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial. But none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea was in their arsenal. And to have all of these
He looked like the look Luigi's giving. He's like, yeah, tell him, Mom. Tell him, Mom. Yeah, that's right. They're bullying me. Luigi got that look like first of all, they look like something out of a Harry Potter movie. Let's just be real, all right? We are from Gryffindor, and we do not tolerate this disrespect, right? He looks like he has the most innocent look on his face, you guys. I'm not going to lie. And again, according to the media, he's like a giant heartthrob right now to the masses. They are loving this guy, and the attorney comes off like a concerned mother, Look at all the little context clues, you guys. She touched his shoulder. He raised his eyebrow like, thanks for comforting me. You guys, these are all subtle clues. She knows what she is doing. And I guarantee you she's going to put on a masterful performance. Masterful performance. And check this. Normally, New York doesn't allow cameras in their courtroom, nor do the feds. So the fact that we have the camera here says a lot. Says a lot. So I don't know. The people might push for this thing to be recorded. If it's recorded, then I know this is 100% a psyop. Okay, if they allow us to put cameras in the courtroom, it's a psyop. It's 100% distraction, because this is they've had cases that people were concerned about. They did not allow cameras in the courtroom. So if the cameras are approved to be in the courtroom, mark my words, it's a psyop. Okay. Well, I already know it's a psyop, but I'm just saying it's a psyop. All right. Anyways, let's get back.
The press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows, under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has held it to be clearly established that these staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone about the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione, and there are consequences to this.
Oh my God. She just roasted the mayor. Roasted him. Listen, we had a lady get burned alive. God rest her soul and her family, right? Burned alive. And they arrested that man, and they only had 3 people on him, no mayor in sight. You would think you want to be present. Listen, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent, or people are going to look at you as a hypocrite. The way the mayor was prancing behind, and then he talked to the media and said, I want to look the killer in the eyes and let him know we don't tolerate that. Sir, you've just said that he's guilty in front of the entire nation. You can't do that. And listen, he's a former officer. He's the current mayor. He knows better. He knows better. But let me say this though. Let me say this while it's on my mind, which you guys don't realize. You probably don't know. I've been doing research. There's a connection to UnitedHealthcare in New York. Not just New York, but the state of New York, the government, New York City, New York Police Department. UnitedHealthcare is an insurance provider for the state, for police officers. You guys, UnitedHealthcare also sponsors and donates millions of dollars to police funds in New York City. They have a partnership. They have a relationship. So this grandstanding, we have somebody, all these things play into a bias that you have to acknowledge, right? So of course they feel obligated to try to make a big statement that, hey, listen, one of our largest donors, CEO, just got executed on our streets. We have to find somebody. Best believe this is going to come up in trial. They're going to look at all this conflict of interest with the mayor, with the city, with the police department. How much money has UnitedHealthcare provided New York City Police Department in the course of 10 years? Can you tell us? Guess what? She's going to pull all that information, you guys. All of that information. So you have an invested interest in making my client look guilty. You have an invested interest in finding the killer, no matter who that killer is. Why? Because if you don't, how much money are you going to be out of? You guys, this is how attorneys think. This is why this case is not over. This is why a mountain of evidence means nothing to a trained, seasoned attorney. When they get up there and they look at the evidence, you guys, they will put together a masterclass performance and make you think that this mountain of evidence was nothing more than just a mountain of trash that they blow away. Okay, this is why they're big attorneys. So there is a correlation here, but also another thing that she's bringing up, you guys, if you haven't caught it, she's already formulating her defense, right? You've paraded my client around. She's going to pull up the news clips with the mayor talking about, hey, we found the killer. And, I want to look the killer in the eye. We're going to bring justice. We have all the evidence time. He's already called him guilty in the court of public opinion. And this is the mayor of the city. She's going to use that, you guys. And brag, not to brag, but Bragg overcharged him. He's overcharging. I just told you about the 11 counts versus the Fed's 4 counts. You don't need all those charges. It's a simple homicide case with a few complex pieces. But when you overcharge, you put too much pressure on the jury. Okay? And New York has a different way of doing these things. You got to accept all the charges on no charges at all. He might mess around and walk on a technicality because he was overcharged or improperly charged, in my opinion. Simple is always sweet, you guys. Simple is sweet. This is the same problem the jury had with the Daniel Penny case. When you have a prosecutor who gets overzealous, they get carried away because they feel that political pressure, they feel the racial pressure, they feel all these color justice warriors and social justice warriors putting pressure on them. And in this case with Bragg and the state, they have a lot of corporate pressure on them, a lot of dollars that are like looking at them like, listen, if you mess this up, we're pulling money from you. Okay, so there's a lot of pressure coming down. So they want to make this statement, but that statement can backfire. Okay, and so this is what we're looking at. What's the other issue? She's talking about how you've destroyed my client's credibility in the state of New York and the city of New York. What does that mean? That is short for I want to change a venue. What does that mean? That means we're going to pick where we feel like we can get a fair trial. You guys, you know what she's going to do? She's going to use it to her advantage. This is in my thinking brain, okay? I want to send this case to where the population is retired, okay? 50 and above. I'm looking for that area. You know why? Because they got insurance. And they've more than likely been screwed over by the insurance company. I want to look and canvas the group and say, how many of y'all have been screwed over? That's who I want to pick. Listen, the jury, they're going to have a hard time with this. And you can strike down as many people as you want. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a tough case. You're going to have to find somebody who got no medical insurance. They obviously can't have UnitedHealthcare. And UnitedHealthcare is one of the largest insurance providers. So, whew. Okay, change of venue. I want some old folks on the jury. They're going to look at this thing and be like, absolutely not. But again, you never know. It's still anybody's game, right? It's still anybody's game. She hasn't even got the evidence yet, discovery. So, we're still kind of up in the air. All right, well, let's finish out what she got to say. Let's see how much we got left. All right.
He has a right to a fair trial, and I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example, and he said, I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love, and he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected him, that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop. And my client is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. And we're going to fight these charges, whether it's in the state or federal, to the fullest extent. Thank you, Your Honor.
We've been listening there to the attorney for Luigi Mangione.
I told you guys what I hear about her. They say Karen is gracefully ferocious. And she's coming with that mom energy. All right? Get your popcorn. Get ready. Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't yet, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Look at me. Hit the like button. All right? Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And listen, you guys, have a Merry Christmas. Do not let all this foolishness going on steal your joy and take away from this time with your family, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. Listen, God bless you guys. We're in for a rough, rugged ride in this country, but keep your prayers up. Everything will be okay. Come back here. I think I'll have maybe some more posted. You probably won't see me till next year. So listen, you guys, stay safe. Have an amazing holiday. I love you guys. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. We are turning up in 2025 to to stay alive. Stay alive 2025. That's going to be the new theme. Stay alive in 2025. Get your resources together. Make sure you have food stacked up, water stacked up. Please, you guys, listen to what I'm saying. Get your homes in order. Get your family, sit down, have a conversation. Things are getting wild in 2025. I promise you that. All right, don't let them steal your joy. This is probably our last best Christmas for a while. There's a lot of foolishness on the rise. All right, so anyways, guys, listen. Let these truths find you where the lies have left you. Good night, and God bless.